and our YouTube channel. Good evening, everybody. We have another episode. As you see, it's not Boston with me tonight, man. It's one of the greatest ball players I ever met, man. I'm so fortunate that she's actually a relative of mine, Ashley Deal, from the same small town, man. But I know she's doing amazing things, so I appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule for being a wife, a mom, entrepreneur. I know you got you wear several hats, so I thank you tonight. And I know the game is on, so I appreciate you. So I understand if your eyes go off to your cell phone to check the scores. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully my boys Memphis can win tomorrow night. And right quick, this podcast is brought to you by Tada's Grit and Grind Barbecue, 615-414-1694. Like I said, those who like, share, the comment, the first 10, we're going to be shipping out 5 different individual bottles of the homemade seasoning and 5 different bottles of the homemade barbecue sauce. Now we got the promotions out of the way. So what's going on with you, Miss Ashley?
We're doing good. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. Like I said, I appreciate your dedication. I know your Atlanta Hawks out there playing, but I appreciate you, man. Right quick, if you could take us back to your senior year of high school, because you was the first year of the Cougars too. Yeah, you went from a Bulldog to a Cougar. What was that like? I went from a Patriot to a Cougar. So what was that like for you?
The two. Hold on, we got an echo. Let me see if I can change up the audio real quick.
Take time. Yeah, because I don't hear echo on my end from you.
Yeah, I got an echo on my end.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the two schools coming together, I thought was a great idea because the Patriots, Ruffin Patriots had good players, so them merging with us, I didn't have a problem with it, and just so happened my senior year was our best year basketball wise. We made it to the Elite Eight. We made it to the Elite Eight, so we was that close. We was that close going to Lower State, and we would have been playing Buford, which was somebody in our conference. So, of course, if you want to talk high schools, it was shaky. It was shaky out. Do you remember that? It was shaky initially. There was a lot of fights. It was a lot of clashing. But basketball wise, it was the best thing that happened to us for the Lady Cougars. That was our best year in all my years playing there.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. We did have a lot of fights, and they gave us warnings, like leaving from my junior year to senior year. I don't know about over there, Walter, bro. We had all kind of announcements. We had like meetings, like, yo, y'all about to go over here. We ain't got time for no foolishness. Like, y'all gonna come together and y'all gonna act right. I don't know what happened between the last day of school and the first day of school. Somewhere in between, we missed it. They had fights breaking out for the first 2 weeks.
We had crazy fights. It was crazy. I remember one time I came to school. It was like the whole school was fighting. One morning, the whole school was fighting. It was crazy. And I get to class late, and somebody was in the class sweating. Like they just got down, and the principal came and took them out the class. I was like, oh, y'all was fighting.
Yeah.
Boys was fighting, the girls was fighting. It was crazy. So
yeah.
But basketball wise, it worked out for us. I can't think of all the other sports. I just know for us that was our best year, my senior year.
Yeah, with football, we had quite a few players from Ruffin to make the team since that's where I came from, and so it was like I said, it was like
Oh, you froze up on me.
Is that me?
Yeah, it was a little freeze. You good? You back?
You know what? Hold on, that was me. Hold on. We about to fix this. I'm about to transition to the living room. But for me, man, it was what I was about to say. I can't remember. I lost my train of thought. Let me grab a chair to prop the laptop up. This will happen. You go live. Like for me, I lived in Walterboro, but I went to school in Ruffin. So I couldn't fight no way. That wouldn't look good on my end because I couldn't fight Walterboro because my grandmother's house is in Walterboro. So looking like I'm just gonna just let y'all beef this out, and then I see y'all after all y'all get done fighting. So yeah, like I had to play it smart because they're like, "Who you fighting with?" Like, I ain't fighting with none of y'all. My grandmother's house is in Walterboro. I just happened to go to school with y'all for a year. And so the transition, me, I enjoyed it, man. It was like good to see you guys because I left like in seventh grade to go to boarding school. So when I came back to see all you guys, it was unfortunately it's only for 1 year, but I tried to make the most out of that 1 year though. Yeah, I really got down, you know what I'm saying, the whole ways of Colleton County. But yeah, man, I played like I said, that was a transition. It could have been better. Like it was young, dumb, you know what I'm saying? And so, hopefully now there's a relationship's a lot better than what there was back in the day. And so we go junior year, you're a Bulldog. Senior year, you're a Cougar, balling out. Like, what was that? What school did you end up going to, and how did you make that selection?
My freshman year, I went to North Carolina Central, but I didn't play basketball in college, so I kind of left that in high school. Um, I'm not sure if that, looking back, I'm not sure that was the correct decision, but at the time, that's just where I was at. I kind of went through a gap where basketball wasn't as important to me at that time. I went to North Carolina Central, that's in Durham, North Carolina, my freshman year. It was cool. I had a rough freshman year, just transitioning, and then I stopped going to school. I was like, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
doing this. What happened was I get now the name for it is called a gap year. I wanted that year to take off to see what I wanted to see, but um, people were telling my mom like if you don't go to school now you won't go back, which is not true. Some people might need that time to see what they want to do or what they want to just get your mind right. I'm not I did well in school, but I'm not really a big fan of school. Like I'm not like what I'm
gotcha.
saying. So I stopped going, and then it was like nobody really could tell me to go, and I'm like, I should have just did this when I came out of school. Not go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I stopped going. I started working, and then I eventually went to school called Full Sail Universities in Orlando, Florida, and that's when I went to school for recording arts. I was into the music heavy. I did that, graduated from there, got associates. Then I came back. By this time, my family had moved to Georgia. We moved to Georgia,
okay.
and then I was working in Georgia. I was interning at a studio in Georgia. Um, but working in Georgia, I lived in Rome, Georgia. Working in Georgia, it taught me a lot because it was different from Walterboro. We're from a small town. A lot of things move slow.
Yeah,
When I worked and lived in Georgia, I worked at a country club, and I say this to everybody: that country club was the best job in my life because not only the on-job experience, but I was exposed to so much. I was exposed to a chef in the kitchen, fine dining, different my food palette. You from the country, you eat fried chicken. You eat certain things. I
yeah,
start working at the country club. I'm eating different stuff, and then I'm bringing
yeah,
it home to my family. Like, hey, this I tried this. I haven't had this, so I'm changing how they eat.
yeah,
You exposed to a lot of business meetings. You exposed to a lot of city meetings. You exposed to Rotary Club. You exposed to Lions Club. These clubs, I'm saying you might have heard of, but you never knew. You never went,
yeah,
and I'm serving these guys, setting up their room. And when they had the meeting, they'll kick me out. Like, okay, Ashley, you good? But now we're about to have our meeting. But I'm learning so much. And you reading
yeah,
all the pamphlets that's being left behind. You seeing the guest speakers that's coming through. Now you know how a city works. You meeting the mayor, you meeting the judges, you meeting the lawyers. So it has changed my perspective on a lot of things, and that was the best education, really, working at that country club.
wow, man. Hey, that's let me echo one. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a headphone set. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. How long did you work at the?
I worked at the country club for 6 years. Um, when I first got there, I think I was part time. Then eventually I came full time. Then I ended up going back to school. I did go back in my associates in business administration at the local college there, Georgia Highlands College. Um, and so when I went back to school, my hours cut back. But it was like I said, it was a great place. I still got people that work there that I communicate with to this day, and I'm sure if I was to go there, today, and if anybody's still working there that I know, they'll be like, "Hey, Ashley," like I was that type of person, like everybody knew me. Plus,
Yeah.
you in the kitchen, you friends with all the cooks, you gonna get some good food. so yeah, that was great. But yeah, after high school, my family moved to Georgia. I think that was a great decision. We living in Walterboro, you exposed to certain things, but when we moved, we got exposed to different things. Um, and that was needed. Sometimes sometimes when you're in your hometown, you get stuck because you get stuck with only what you know. So we moved, you grew different things, but don't ever get it twisted. Being from Walterboro, South Carolina, I'm thankful every day because what we got in Walterboro, we got like a hometown love. We
Mm,
got family values. You get out
yeah.
here in these cities and you meet people and you see how they live and you like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's rough. Like, yeah, you in a big city, but a lot of people in the big city by themselves. Like my family, my mom, my sisters, when we moved to Georgia, everybody used to be like, y'all different, y'all stick together. That's really all we know. Like a lot of people just cutthroat.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. I was talking to one of my neighbors today. He was talking about where I'm from, looking like every day to us is a Sunday drive. You know what I'm saying? We just enjoy the smaller moments. We don't have that hustle and bustle of the big city. You know, so right now I'm currently right outside of Nashville. Dude, this is like a fast growing city. There's people always moving here, and it's all like I said, a hustle, bustle, and a cutthroat. And to me, I'm looking like I like to go outside and look up at the stars, but living this close to the city, you don't have that. The little small stuff like that, it means something, especially to me. So for being from a small town, I think that, like you said, it does help set like different roots, compared to some of your friends from the city. You know what I'm saying? And they were looking like, so they start emulating some of the things you doing. Because looking like, well, shoot, man, they start seeing what you doing, looking like, well, I see how she raising her son. I see what she doing as a wife. Like, let me start. Sometimes they won't say it, but you can tell like they start watching you every move. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking like I got a following. So that's pretty cool. So like you said, you went down to Florida, got your first associate, moved to Georgia, Atlanta area, got your second associate, and so how, if you are, how are you using those degrees today?
So how I'm using those degrees today, that's awesome. When I moved up to Virginia. My now husband, then boyfriend. He wanted. We had a son together. And this is somebody as well from my hometown that So
Uh,
that's a connection. We both from the same hometown. We had a family. So I moved up here. This is like my first time. Moving in with a guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, but other than that, I either have my own apartment or I live with my mom. So we moved in together, and when I first got up here, um, like I left my job behind, and then I had to figure it out, like what I was going to do. I was able to get a job through some family members, like got referral, and
Hmm.
I'm in the admin department. So that right there, I was using my business administration degree. I'm in the
Hmm.
admin department. I'm doing purchase orders, travel, vouchers, that type of stuff. I'm working on a job. I don't even know what we doing. I'm just processing paperwork. And so we have one day when I'm talking to some of the guys, and when the guy said he went to Full Sail, I'm like, yeah, I went to Full Sail too for recording arts. And he was like, then why are you an admin? Why are you not on the program? So he told the management, like, Ashley went to the school I went to. She's qualified to do this job. So
Hmm.
the job is called audio visual designer. So that's what I am. I'm an audio visual designer, and I knew audio. I had to learn the visual part, and basically they transferred me to the engineering department, and That came with a nice little pay raise,
Yeah, yeah.
and
You can cash at me.
I learned on the job. I learned on the job. I've been doing that for the last 3 years. Now I'm at the point where now I have to get all the proper certifications, which those are tough. I'm studying for those now, but I have the experience, so that's already good. So my job is an audio visual designer. So with the business administration degree and with the recording arts degree, I've been able to I've been able to you know uh, use my degrees in my field.
Gotcha. Okay. So about how long you think the certification may take? Like a year
So I mean,
process too?
so I took the first test. I took a test before and I failed it. It's a tough test, so
You
I'm gonna
got it.
take it again. I've been studying every day. Like the whole team is studying, so everybody's studying for the test. So I'm gonna take it again. So it's basically on you how much you can process the information. Once I get the test out, you just get the certifications. You can place them on your LinkedIn account, and you just certain jobs they want to make sure everybody has the highest certification because we work on contracts. So when they bid the contracts out, if you say, hey, all my team is certified, it just makes it look better, on paper. So
That's pretty cool, man. I know you're gonna do it. Like I say, man, I like to say our relationship a little different. You know what I'm saying? We grew up like playing ball together in the grandma backyard, and so for me personally, it's like it's a privilege and honor to see the lady you have become today. Cause like dog, you know what I'm saying? I always respect you on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? You always had skills. You always was a leader on the basketball court. So to hear like now, like you got these degrees, you're a wife now, you're a mother. And it's like I said, like I seen them because like I said, because social media, it's just now it's just like look at it, man. That just makes me, you know what I'm saying, so much prouder of you and the things I know you have accomplished and the things you will accomplish. So yeah, 'cause like I say, from being from a small town, you don't that's another reason why we do this podcast is to reach those from a small town or they're trying to figure out what's next, in life and looking like so Ashley did these things. So if she can do it, I can do it too. Then you're a black female. Like I said, you're a wife, you're a mother. Like I said, you was working in one area and then you like say you had a referral, you know what I'm saying, boost you to another and like you continue to climb. So it's always good to hear that. It's one thing to see it on social media, but it's a good thing to actually be able to hear it and see somebody that's look like our nieces and nephews, you know what I'm saying, the community. We moved back from looking like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when they see this podcast back home in Walterboro, looking like, yeah, that's where we're from. And so this is what this is all about. So that's pretty cool. Is any other thing you're doing besides like those things you're doing for your career? Do you have any other like outside interests or you know what I'm saying things out that you up to?
so I do have the food vendor business, the funnel cakes, lemon waves business, the funnel cakes and lemonade business. So
Yeah.
that's my little project. I initially started that project because one, I did want a side business, and two, I wanted to teach my son, about owning his own
Mm,
business. And I like that. I like that this business is his first job. Like I love that. You know what I'm saying? I think I was definitely into entrepreneurship when I was younger, and it kind of seemed like back home I ain't. A lot of people wasn't into it. It wasn't like when you talk about starting businesses. It was kind of shunned upon. I don't know, maybe because I'm a girl, but it was kind of shunned upon. Like I didn't really get that support. But at the same time, now that I know what I know, sometimes you just gotta jump out there, just do it. And when that's what I did with this business, and it's been doing great. We trying to take it to the next level. We was in the pop up tent. That's a great start. It's cost effective while you
yeah.
building stuff up. Now we trying to get the trailer because that tent was a lot of work. Like I did the tent last year, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know how I made it. Like I did it every weekend. I threw that tent up
Mm,
every weekend, and I didn't have a trailer. I had everything in my Jeep,
mhm.
and I did it every weekend. Showed up. Some days was good, some days wasn't. But I did it day in day out, and that was a lot of on my body. And so now we're trying to get the trailer so it can be less physical impactive, and and just more security. So you out here. I have my husband out there as security, but you
Yeah,
just I can't take up all his time because he got businesses as well. So
yeah,
plus it's hot. Everybody complaining. Look, I'm cooking. When I'm cooking, I don't feel that heat. When I'm out here working, I really don't feel none of that. I'm focused. But you got people you working with. And you see a lot of people having trouble finding workers. Like I
yeah,
remember I had somebody working for me, and they said, they're not working. They was getting unemployment. Like they don't need that little check. So
yeah,
so what's next is trying to take that from the pop up trailer to the food truck. So we're trying to take it to the next level on that. I'm working on that around the clock right now to get that going. Some obstacles in the way, but that's how it was last year. It was obstacles in the way when I was trying to get the tent set up. So now I just gotta fight through that.
yeah. Like it's and that's that. It's funny, but not funny in the sense to where it's like hitting your funny bone. It's not funny, but yeah, it's like the whole small town mentality when it comes to business. Because like I've run into the same issue you have. Like you talk to people about business, it's like you talking French. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of it is from the small town. A lot of it is fear based upon. That's what I think is rooted is fear. So
It's definitely
and
fair.
like yeah, and so a lot of times, like say me and you, like say we talked about different things, and so I'm gonna do whatever I can to support her. Like I said, a lot of times when you tell some people you got a business or you're doing this, doing that, they put their self in your shoes instead of looking at you as a person, your personality, your integrity, your principle, looking like Ashley can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I know we follow each other like on Instagram. Like anything you post, you're getting a like. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see you win. Like so, if you post these things, nobody said nothing. I'm gonna say something. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
like I say, hopefully, we'd love to have you back on, man. When you get that trailer, go live with us, man. We got to making some fun and cakes and lemonade. Like we don't want your secrets. We just want to see you doing it, man.
I'm definitely gonna do more content. Actually, I got a podcast idea of my own. Um, I'm gonna do based off the food vendor business. So
Yeah,
I'm working on that as well. Um, I'm working on that. I'm gonna keep that on the wraps, but I'm still working on it so I can get it set up. But I'm gonna definitely, let you know how it go. But I will say this. I had a couple events in South Carolina last year, and those was big for me. And I would say that our class of '03, they
yeah,
showed up. They showed up and supported heavy. And you know what's crazy? I remember they did the stadium, the Bulldogs stadium tear down, and I was out there doing funnel cakes. And what I did was I gave like everybody in my class, if you was '03, you got a free funnel cake. I'm like, yo, that's love, boom. And that was so crazy. I didn't think about it. I had an event. I came down one weekend. I want to say it was Labor Day weekend last year, and like almost like everybody from my class '03 came out and support. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think about it till later, but that's just the seed that was planted
yeah,
that I might didn't even pay attention to. I was just like, hey, if you was '03, you get a free funnel cake, and people got their free funnel cake plus came back and bought more. But '03 definitely showed up for me, so I got to shout out our class. Everybody that I know in Walterboro showed up for me that I grew up with, so that's love to them too. I
yeah,
got big plans, that I want to do. Like I done came out here in the world and learned some things, and now I want to come back home and do some things. So I
mhm,
got big plans. I'm just trying to not rush it, not to get too far ahead of myself. Still trying to plant those seeds and still trying to make myself in the best position because when it's time to implement those plans, I'm gonna come up against a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Adversity. I know
yeah.
that I'm gonna come up
Opposition,
with
yeah,
a lot of opposition, but you got to
yeah,
be prepared for that. You got to be aware of that, and you got to be 10 steps ahead of what anybody gonna do. Like, and I just think we as a people, black people, don't understand that business is kind of like a war, and it's not that people are dying, just that it's really strategic
yeah,
and moves being made. Is people going to counter those moves so you don't make them, and a lot of people just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? They don't
yeah.
understand that.
Oh, trust me, I'm in the same boat you in. There's some things that we got brewing too, like to take back home. So
Right.
yeah, so so yeah, I'm bringing
So
you with
me and
me.
you need to link up,
Yeah,
on the backside, and
yeah,
discuss your plans. I discuss my plans, and we can see how we can make that work.
yeah,
But one thing that I am working on that I want to get started sooner than later. I want to work on. I got this program I'm designing called tech and trades. Like I feel like tech and trades is where it's at. Is I don't want to hear anything else. Like I understand you can do what you want to do, but tech and trades, like you should see me around here. All my nieces and nephews, especially my nephews, my nephews. I want them in tech. And I want them in tech. I don't care. I'm not hearing. I'm pushing you towards tech. I don't care. I'm pushing you towards tech. My job right now as an audiovisual designer is blurring with IT. So I'm gonna have to get an IT certification because when you design stuff for audiovisual, now they got smart homes, smart companies. Everything is blurring. You see the cybersecurity. You see a company just blackmail an oil company. That's IT. That's cybersecurity. I'm gonna have to, when I design, you have to design in mind of IT, so the equipment that you're using won't be turned on you to be used for bad. You see what I'm saying? So, and about the initiative, I think I'm pushing anybody and everybody that I know into tech and trades. Hey, what you want to do? I don't know. Well, while you figure it out, won't you do this right here, make some good money, and then you can fund what it is that you want to do. So those are lessons I had to learn the hard way. Like I was into music. Well, once you get into music, it takes money. When you see all these bad deals, people got to sell the bad deals because they don't have the money. But if you had a job that was supplying you the money to make it happen, you won't be putting yourself in those bad situations. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tech and trades, that's something I'm really big on. That's something I'm trying to push, trying to design, and I want to just stop putting that into the young kids' faces. It's a group of people on Twitter. I'm not sure if you're a big Twitter user.
I'm not on that at all.
Yeah, so it's a group of us on Twitter. They call it a lot of names like LLC Twitter, Black Wealth Twitter, Money Twitter. These are people who discuss the different jobs out there. It's like a lot of stuff we just didn't know exists. We just don't know exists, that you're not aware. It's different ways of getting money that you don't have to do the cliche things. You don't have to be the rapper. You don't have to be the ball player. You don't have to be the cliche things to make a great living. But tech, if you want to, tech and trades, if you want to make a good salary, those are two you need to be at. And those are two that's going to grow in the future.
Yeah.
I got a nephew, and they be like, oh, my nephew's so lazy. And I'm like, yo, if you're going to be lazy, then you need to have that one tech job that's going to allow you to be lazy and make 6 figures.
Yeah, for sure. Because they out there.
Right. Yeah. So don't come to me with something. I don't know what I want to do. Okay, I can show you. You want to do cybersecurity. That's what you want to do. You do cybersecurity.
Because that's like when I was working at one of the hotels here in town, my supervisor, he was in the military. He was working at the hotel, and he was getting he was going back to school for cybersecurity. Like that's what he was big on. Like he was looking like, it's a cool little gig, but I'm thinking about, like you said, he's thinking about 5 or 6 years down the line, like where we're gonna be at as a world.
5, 6 years down the line, if he's in cybersecurity, he's gonna be making 6 figures guaranteed.
Yeah, so just that,
guaranteed.
Man, who's gonna turn that down?
Guaranteed. And so, like you have a carpet cleaning business, that's considered a trade. So, like my job, audiovisual, was considered a trade, but like it's about to blur with tech because I have to learn the IT component. Like we had a meeting. We have to learn the IT component. I might have to learn the cloud component. So the job is blurring. And then you got to be prepared because AI coming. A lot of people trying to replace jobs. A lot of people trying to replace. You got to be knowing your career and what's to come.
Yeah. That's like right quick. Another I want to slide in, like I said, another what you want to call that? People sponsoring the show, Ty Doll's Grit and Ground Barbecue out here in Nashville. It's a catering business, but yeah, he ships seasons, barbecue sauce, 615-414-1694. You see it at the bottom of the ticker.
Ty Doll's, I like that.
Yeah, Ty Doll's, that Grit and Grind, yeah.
And he need a commercial. He need a song. He need a jingle.
I'm going to holler at her.
Tell him
Yeah.
you jingle. Ta-da.
Yeah, they let you know he from Memphis too, that grit and grind. So he got that Memphis style barbecue, man. So a lot different than what we grew up on, but man, like he a good dude, man. Like I told him what we was doing. He said, man, let me put my name on it. And so now, like I said, we got sponsorships from, you know what I'm saying, on the podcast. So
Look,
there's different ways to promote one another. Like I said, when you get yourself situated, you give me information, you can sponsor the show too. Like, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
with the funnel cakes and lemonade. Like,
most
why not,
definitely.
man? That's what it's here for, you know what I'm saying, for us to help and promote one another.
Most
Um,
definitely.
yeah, and like I said, I talked the other day, because you doing it too, you hit on it, about like the certifications and things. Like about a month ago now, I guess a few weeks, I went out to California. Like I don't have like no certification paperwork wise, but I spent a whole week with a dude who do nothing but carpet repairs. And so, like you say, I looked at what he was doing. I found him on Instagram. I hit him up. He said it was cool with it. I flew out to California. And like I said, I had to invest in myself for what's to come. Like I say, as you look at it, like right now, you look in your hometown, you look up carpet cleaning, it's gonna be a whole list of companies. But if you do carpet repairs, it's very, very few of us. So even though I can offer a carpet cleaning, I want to put myself, like you said, in your lane, I wanted to merge with the carpet cleaning and carpet repair to like, oh, you do that too? Like, yeah. So I may not be cleaning carpets for like a couple months, but I'm out here making these repairs because I put myself in that position to where, like, at some point, every business got to transition.
Look, you just said that you hit a guy on Instagram and you flew out to California. A lot of people won't even do that.
Nah,
That's
nah.
the shit. When I was starting this business, I looked up the top funnel cake people on Instagram, and I sent them an email. I sent like 5 people email. 3 of them wrote back. 2 of them was black companies. That's awesome to me. Like we chatted, and now that I started my page, a lot of people who got funnel cake business hit me up. Like especially if it's black women, they be like, "Oh, I'm happy to see another black woman doing the funnel cake business." Like we got a community, and I
Yeah,
done hit all of them up in the box. Like, "Hey, I'm gonna be starting my podcast soon. I want y'all to get on." They like, "Sure, just let me know." So I'm already, you know what I'm saying. So I just gotta do my steps to get that
yeah,
going, but what you just said, a lot of people won't do. You went out there, you took a trip because you like, hey, I'm trying to take this to another level. A lot of people just won't do that.
yeah. Like you said, like we said earlier, just based in fear. You know what I'm saying? Just like, dude, like I talked to him, planned everything. Like he said, dog. Like I said when I did a little thing about it, I'm not a planner, but I had like, you know what, Jordan, like get out your way. Like you should have seen me. Like I looking up hotels, flights, rental car. Like I was like a grown man. You know what I'm saying? But it was exciting to do. But like I said, man, it was pretty much the best thing that happened, man. You know what I'm saying? For me, you get excited. Like you said, when you like looking at different things for your career, with possibility of things where it can go, like that should make you excited and see looking like these are doors that can be open. Like you said, you see it, you able to see the blur coming. Matter of fact, you may be in the midst of the blur. You see it coming, like you're not sitting back like, oh, that ain't for me. You're looking like Ashley's doing whatever she got to do to put herself in position. So, like when you do launch your podcast, like your title will change because of the things you're doing now for what you see coming a year or two down the line. So I can't do nothing but respect that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So yeah, so whenever you get your trailer, you and your husband and your son got to come over to Nashville, do one of our pop ups. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in the day, man, I just want to see you win. That's what this whole
Right.
podcast is about. Anyway,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? By bringing people on that are doing something. I don't care what you're doing. Just as long as you're doing something daily to progress and better yourself, you can hop on the podcast, man. I don't care what y'all they doing.
Right.
And
Right.
so yeah, man. Man, just so many things. Like you hit on the IT thing, like Walmart, dude. Only way I'm in Walmart is like it better be last second like situation because like, I hate going to Walmart now. I gotta go pick my groceries up off the aisle, and then I gotta go scan my stuff. Like you got rid of like it's and not my local Walmart. I think it's maybe 6 regular checkouts because you got the self scan, and then you got the one with the line, and then you got like just only 6 regular registers. I'm looking like you said, if you're not careful, you see it, you see what's replacing you. Because remember, Walmart tried that thing where you had to self scan your stuff going down the aisle. That didn't work out the first time, but they're working on it. It's gonna come back around eventually.
From my understanding, they got it in Sam's Club.
Yeah,
So My mom, she say she go to Sam's Club. You just put your stuff in the money, you could pay for it. You walk out, and when you walk out, they got some kind of detection. I want to say it's kind of like the little Amazon store. Like everything you put in there when you walk out is all electronic. So I want to say they doing Sam's. I guess they can control it more, and Walmart's. You know the reputation of Walmart. So they it just hasn't reached that level yet. But don't think that it won't come in the future. They just know it's still too early, but they're gonna figure out a way to get it there. And people don't understand like you being replaced because that's less workers. That's less cashiers. That's less. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more people stocking the shelves. More people just putting the stuff on the line put it on the shelves. But like all the front office people. All the people that's in the front of the stores, y'all get less takeaway. Yeah. And let me speak on this. I used to work at Walmart. I worked at Walmart. And I'm speaking on this because this was a mistake. I worked at Walmart around the time I was in school in Georgia for the business administration. So I'm at school getting my associates in business administration. I'm working at Walmart overnight, and me and this guy, we was both at school and we both working at Walmart. And they came to me and was like, Ashley, do you want to be assistant manager? And I was like, no. I just turned it down. I didn't want to be assistant manager. And the guy, he did it. He did the program. So we working there. I'm working overnight, and he went and did the program. And they said, I don't know how long it took. But he was like, yeah, I'm a manager now. He got a shirt. I think he was starting like 40,000. I think I was making like $8 or $9 an hour. I'm not sure. Like I had other things going on. I had other dreams, and this assistant manager, it just didn't correlate. And I don't even think I discussed it with anybody. Like I didn't even say my mom. I didn't say my friends. I just made a decision. But I'm going to show you how I turned down a $40,000 job with benefits with I think Walmart give out good we call them bonuses. Like I turned it down. But I was just ignorant to the fact that I turned down situation for what I was doing. It would have helped me. Yeah. So I always say like that was a mistake in my life, turning down the Walmart assistant manager job because I just didn't know. And then when I moved to Virginia, imagine if I would have just transferred. I could have just transferred. I would have been making out the gate 70, 80. I just didn't know. Like, like everybody laugh at me now. They're like, yeah, you just turning down jobs. And I just didn't know. So that's why I say we as people, especially Black people, man, we got to talk. And some people like, oh, it's my business. Cool. But some people make terrible decisions. And that was a terrible decision. Yeah. That was a terrible decision. Like, I can say that now and laugh about it. But you should have seen me. I was like, yeah. It's like when they want me to be a manager. I don't want to be a manager. I'm good. Like I just turned down associates. I had an associate's degree. I was like in my young 20s. I could have a store right now. And I just turned down the job like it was nothing. I'm telling you.
That's funny.
Yeah. So and I say that because, my sisters, my mom, anybody that's, to me, we talk about these things now. And I think growing up, I don't remember a lot of people talking about these things. Mm-hmm. But it's different things pertaining to jobs, life. You just got to discuss, and you just got to have the proper people in your circle to discuss that with. So I can understand some people like, oh, I don't want to discuss this. They in my pockets. I can understand that. But when your whole circle on a different level, it's certain things we don't know. We reach at a different level our people didn't hit. Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah. We don't know what we don't know. And I want to say it was something with health insurance. We was on a certain plan, and somebody told my husband, hey, y'all doing this, y'all should do that. That one thing saved us thousands of dollars. We didn't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just certain things you just discuss. And mistakes like turning down a management job at 22 years old. Yeah, man, I laugh about that today, but like I left money on the table.
Money on the table, yeah.
Money on the table.
Yeah, closed mouth don't get fed, man. Cause that's what not little, but she's like a couple years behind me. Amber doing. Amber, like, she started in Walmart in Walterboro, and she's just.
But look, that's another thing. Amber started at Walterboro. I remember Amber used to do photos, didn't she?
Yeah, she's still there on the side. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. I know a lot of people who was at Walmart and Walterboro. And I kind of feel like now that I know what I know, because I worked at Walmart, some people should have been moved up. You know what I'm saying? Some people should have been moved up. Some people should have been offered those positions. I was working at Walmart less than 6 months, and I was already offered assistant manager. So don't tell me what's not possible. They're like, oh, you gotta put your time in. There's certain people making decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying on what you can do.
Yeah.
I didn't have that issue.
Yeah.
They saw I was a good worker. I did the job very well. Boom, offered the position. I turned it down. That was a dumb decision there. But think about all the people we knew that worked at Walmart when we was coming up and that didn't get management positions or never offer a position. That means those decisions was made by people higher than them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there for young people because I feel like you asked me about coming out of high school. I kind of feel like I didn't have a roadmap. I was just roaming. I was roaming around at one point, just roaming around. I always kept a job. You know, I was not here bumming. I always kept a job. I kept some money coming in. But, you know, knowing what I know now, you know, things could have been done differently. I did. I still ended up great, though. Don't get it twisted. I came from the bottom. Like, you know, I'm proud of myself. You know, I came from the bottom. I definitely land on a nice little spot. But I'm trying to take it to the next spot. But I'm the type of person, I'll tell young people the mistakes I made. I kind of feel like some people don't want to do that because they don't want to see young people doing better than them. And I'm not that type. I'll give the game freely. I'll give the game freely. That's not me. If you need help, I'll give you some advice. But I don't say, hey, do this, do that. I say, hey, these are some options you should consider.
There you go. That's a nice word. That's a nice way of starting that sentence. And that's a lot of things like we hit on it earlier. It's like I would like to do back home. You know what I'm saying? It's like to have those conversations with the youth. Like, you know, I bring them in the auditorium and like at least let's start discussing these things. Cause like I said, being from where we're from, there's really no after school program. You know what I'm saying? Looking like y'all got so much gifts and talents, looking like, but they don't know how to use them because they're not being taught. Like even if we do the tech trade or, you know, so what we're going to do, bring it to them, like at least now while they're young, before they graduate or we catch them right after they graduate, we can kind of like get that ball rolling. Like I said, being from a small town, you don't really have those around that's doing things. It's kind of hard to see outside of Walterboro. Even though we got social media doing things, but you got to find those people and that you can be honest about the reality with you. Like, I'm not going to be up here like, oh, we got a big house, we're doing this and that, but I'm not going to tell you the truth how I got the big house. You're looking like, man, Jordan doing good with that carpet cleaning business. Yeah, but, you know, the house we got, that was on the PPP loan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you the truth. That make you think like, I'm living this lavish life, I'm doing all these great things when you trying to do what I'm doing. Like you say, I'm not being honest and educate you and teach you like, these are pitfalls I made. Like, you won't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so we got older cousins and relatives that we get to see that didn't always make the best decision. So why am I going to go down that same road? You know what I'm saying? I see it's not the best decision, so let me go over here. And like I said, you know, I think that's what really, you know what I'm saying? When I look at home and I hear the stories back home, it just breaks my heart because I'm like, I know there's a lot of potential. Like I said, a lot of our classmates got children back home. So when you go home, you're looking like after school programs, like, we got the rec center. What else we doing out here? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah,
and that's the commitment. That's the commitment that I know that it's going to take. That's why when I say when I come back home, I got to come back right. And that's why I feel like now I'm trying to put myself in a position to be all the way right. Because even when you come out and try to do good, they're going to try to turn it to bad. So I'm trying to make sure, you know, like I have a lot of ideas and like I have people approach me about investing, but I feel like I'm not still 100% in the position to take on investors because in your own deal, you don't want to be the less than. Yeah. Like I always feel like if I'm in the deal, I still got to provide a third of that deal. I can't still allow myself to be on the bottom of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to put myself in a position where I'm never on the bottom of the deal. Does that make sense?
That make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Coming home, I already got it written out. Like, you know, off camera we'll talk about it, but like coming home, I already got a plan written out. But I know it's gonna take like we're looking at a 30-year plan. You're not looking at something that's gonna be a year or 2 years. No, you're looking at a 30-year plan to transform an area, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take 30 years. It's going to take
Yeah.
30 years. I'm looking at a 30-year plan.
Yeah.
So when we think about it, everything that you say, it's going to take a commitment. It's going to take a mindset. It's going to take like a whole marketing. Like you have to put a whole, you have to train like a whole people to being committed to becoming better. So trust me, we here on that. I try not to criticize so much because I know what's being done, what's not being done. Some people try, but you know they feel they don't have any help. So I try not to go there. Plus, I'll be disappointed by the vote and turnout. So you can't depend on that. You can't vote. You can't depend on that. The numbers are the numbers. You can't depend on that. We had a lot of people ran on the Democratic ticket that we supported, and people didn't show up. They didn't show up. That's just what it is. I don't really sugarcoat it. Nobody showed up.
Yeah, they can't sugarcoat that. Yeah, the numbers.
So now that tells me I can't even depend on y'all. Like I'm not running for no office or even putting nobody in office because y'all not gonna show up. So it's no need for me to put my money in that. So I have to go the business way. I can't even go the nonprofit way because now you still asking for money. No, you got to go the business way. Because the profit's only gonna make sense. The money only gonna make sense.
Yeah.
You're not gonna support. You're not gonna support if somebody ran because we saw what happened. People ran good campaigns. You're not gonna support if you do nonprofit because that's this. Hey, help out with this, help out with that. That only goes for so far. It's only people only gonna contribute but so much. You gotta start businesses. You gotta start programs. It's like a cycle that has to feed itself. So
gotcha. I'm with you. Yeah, you got to. Like I said, that's home for us. Like I said, you want to leave your mark when our glass time is up, man. You know, we want to make sure like we at least got something started back home. To like I said, we we may not see the whole concept coming together, but at least when we leave or whatever the case may be, like whenever we go home, you see the buildings being bought up, bought up, using the right way. And, it's all this land that's vacant, do something with it. It's just like, all right, y'all, like, I see y'all, I understand y'all, this is your comfort zone. And I would encourage anybody, I don't care if I be out of high school, like you college age, young adult, old adult, if you can, like just, it's okay to step out of your comfort zone and leave home. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's the Charlotte. Atlanta's kind of big, so I don't know how you feel about that. You got Jacksonville, you got all these places, Memphis, you got all these places you can leave, take your education, take your experience, and just see, especially now because people need jobs and people are hiring like crazy. So catch it on the front end where they're paying you with a bonus and extra before the rabbit get the gun and they like bump a bonus and we're going to take $3 an hour away from you because the government said y'all got to go back to work. And so when we did was giving out bonuses, y'all ain't take it. So get y'all tailor work, you know what I'm saying? Just apply to different places. Put me down as a reference. Listen, one of my homeboys, he ain't worked with me ever. Whenever he get a new job, I'm his supervisor. You know what I'm saying? I'm a past supervisor. Like in his day, like I know this man for 15 years. He good people. I don't know if he like his work.
But look, he able to use you as a resource because you have your own business. He told you, hey, I'm going through this. I need to put you down as a reference. You in that position to do so. Yeah. So you're saying you put yourself in that position to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe we need black businesses that hire black people. That's just really what I believe. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We only can help. We only can solve our own issues. That's just how I believe. I believe we can solve our own issues. I'm not really looking for, handouts. Don't get me wrong now. If there's programs out there that's giving out money, yeah, we're going to apply. But I'm not going to say, hey, what should we do? What should we do? No, like sit down. What's the problem? Okay, we're going to solve it. We're going to get taken care of. That's just my mindset. Oh
yeah, man. Like so when that dude supervisor called me, I'm like, man, I was sad to see him leave. He's a great worker. Like if he ever back in the area, he got a job. Like the dude hung up for me and called my partner looking like, I don't know what you told that dude, but he just offered me the job looking like, I got you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you see other people do it. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, your son go get a job, put me down as a reference. Yeah, I know him. What you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, You would think this man been doing this thing his whole life. Like, yo, he gonna be on time. He committed. You know, I know his parents. I helped raise him. They're like, God dang, that's a good hire. That matter of fact, I'm putting $500 on it. You know what I'm saying? You call me if you don't. You know, it's just little things you can do. Looking like, man, we better hire this little man, and we're gonna give him a bonus because of what you know what I'm saying. The guy in Tennessee said about him, and it's just like little stuff like that. Cause we see it all the time. Like if you look at other races, you're looking like, man, how this man get a job? Well, his daddy know. He looking like, okay, I ain't mad at you. Sometimes not what you know, but who you know. Okay, I see what's up. Your uncle, I get that. All right, and I said, so when you get opportunity, like my little niece Kayla, I think she's 14 now. Let her get a job. She's like 16, 17. Put me down as a reference. We got different last names too. Hey, it is what it is. It's just like you got to play those games looking like you don't got to know she's my niece. You just got to know she put me down as a reference. Just speaking of her, you know what I'm saying, who she is as a person and the things I know she's going to bring to the table. Like, you just use those resources. I don't care who y'all. Email me, you know what I'm saying? Put me down as a reference. Hey, tell me what job you work for me as. Tell them you work for a carpet cleaning business on some front, whatever you do, answer my phones or a technician. I got you. You're going to get that. If it's up to me, you're getting that job. Why not? Just give an opportunity, man. I think that's one thing. Like, I ain't about to tear you down. But like I said, we're seeing a lot of that, man. We went through a lot of that growing up. People having negative things to say. Oh, Ashley need to stop playing basketball. Oh, she need to start doing it. How you gonna knock her? That's her passion. That's her love. You know what I'm saying? She should be doing. How you gonna tell her what she should? You're not on the court with Ashley. You don't see what she see. You know what I'm saying? You thinking she should have made that pass. Well, you know what I'm saying? She ain't the tallest person, so she got to think about other options to get the ball to us and to get it to. Now we so focused on judging each other every quick moment that sometimes we're not able or we don't choose to. We're able to. We just choose not to look at things from other people's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't never like say I watched you like playing basketball growing up, high school days. I seen you playing ball in the rec league where you at. Like you don't got to go out there and score 25 points, but she gonna put players where they need to be. That's the kind of leader she was. You was not there yelling. You was not there with all this anger issues. Like you was leading, with putting words in your teammates' ear. You was congratulating them. You know what I'm saying? You was uplifting them. You know I'm looking like I saw you. You know what I'm saying? And like that's who you are as a person. Even like now, as we doing things as adults, you know what I'm saying? I see you doing your thing, looking like that's who Ashley is. Like she always had like an encouraging word. Like we've been knowing each other for years. We ain't never argue. I ain't never seen you get into an argument. You know what I'm saying? You was always silly, but you always like you made sure you got your point across. Like we knew like we couldn't cross Ashley the wrong way, looking like it may be only 4'7", but dog, you don't even want to go down that route with her because just because she smiled and she laughed don't mean she's soft. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always had a lot of respect for you. Like I said, check up on you, make sure you're good. Well, occasion big looking like no matter what you do, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I seen you out there balling. Like, you won a little championship, I think a couple years ago, maybe. I'm looking like, oh, she still got it. You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy. That
little slow, that little release she got. It's her. She caught that thing back. That's her all day. Don't let her get that off. It's going in. You're gonna have to respect the J. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like stuff like that you get to see what makes it so special to me. Again, one of my role models, like a grandfather to me, he was looking like always give people their roses while they can smell them. So I was glad to know you willing to come on, looking like, yo, I know she's doing her thing, but I just want to take her more, man. Say congratulations on everything. Continue to be an inspiration. You just always been solid with me, and that's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? So, dog, man, I wish you nothing but the best. You know, I'm praying for you. You and your husband. You know what I'm saying? That you say 11, right? Your son?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, 11-year-old future entrepreneur. Because I've been seeing like you be talking about stuff like. Even about like I can't think of the correct terms. It's like even with the stock market, I think it's called portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been seeing you throw stuff out there about your son portfolio, looking like respect. You know what I'm saying? Because you put him in positions like you said. We just didn't know growing up. Now that we do know, it's out. Now it's an excuse if you don't use it. And so now you preparing him to like when he's out of high school, he may got like a few bands, boom, dropping his bank account. You get out of college, he got some band like, yo, this is where your money is. This is how you get it. These are things I'm preparing for you. So when you turn 22 with your first degree, or you get an associate at 20, or you get a trade at 20, whatever you're going to do, mom and daddy got you prepared to give you a great launching point.
Right. You're not starting from zero, you know what I'm saying? Or cases of people who, who had to take on a lot of student loan debt, you're not starting from the negative, But yeah, we set him up his own portfolio. Matter of fact, Robux. We got Robux in his portfolio, and because he plays a lot of Robux, like he gives money to Robux. I'm like, you got to give money to yourself. So, look that company up, Roblox. I don't know if you heard of it. I don't know if your kids old enough, but these kids are crazy about Roblox. So, a IPO a couple months back, and we put that in his portfolio. But yeah, that stock market stuff, that was something we had to learn. I had a portfolio, I want to say since like '07, and even then, Jordan, when the stock market, I don't want to say crashed, but it went down considerably in '08 when the real estate crash happened. Um, I knew, but I didn't know. Like I had the portfolio and I was putting money on it, but I still wasn't throwing money, at the right companies. Because a lot of stuff was dirt cheap then. But now I've been doing good. To be honest, what I did was I put my husband on it. My husband's very disciplined when it comes to money. So that's to show you that's how great partners we are, because he's very disciplined. I'm moving and shaking. It's like sometimes I don't have the time to sit down and learn everything I need to learn. Like I'm definitely a little more riskier. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I did good last year. Like we was doing the taxes. He was like, this thing said you made like 12,000. I was like 12,000. I made 12,000. Look, he's like, this thing said you made about 12,000. Like I know I had hit a couple of trades. Yeah. I was like, man, but I put him on it because he's a stickler. Like he's very into that. But like right now, I'm trying to deal with other stuff, the cash flow. So he doing trade, so it works out. But I still work on my long-term portfolio, and I just set that and forget it. But I'm thinking about like doing some like classes or like videos just showing people, because a lot of people ask me questions and it's hard to get everybody one-on-one. So like just doing some starter videos, like some walkthroughs. So like hey, set up your custodial account for your child. My husband, he set up all his nieces and nephews a custodial account, and he put in the first $50, I believe, in the account so they can buy their first stock, or either he purchased the first stock or something like that.
Yeah.
So you
need a tutorial because you use the term. You use the IPO. Now, what's IPO?
So IPO, initial public offering. So Roblox had an IPO, meaning that was their first time on the market for sale. Yeah. So they was offering stock to us as retail investors to buy.
Gotcha.
So it's two ways. You can IPO, which is initial public offering, or you could direct list. So I know you heard of Coinbase. Have you heard?
I've heard, yeah.
With the crypto. So crypto had a direct listing on the market versus an IPO. So the direct listing is different things. It's like you bypass a couple of regulation rules are different. I want to say that for an IPO, people who's already on the stock in the company, they get rich when they IPO. Yeah. But you got on the IPO, they gotta be locked. They stock is locked up, so they can't sell anything for like at least 60 to 90 days. If you do a direct listing, you can sell on the first day. So a lot of people were saying, hey, they selling their stock, blah blah blah. We got a couple of investment clubs. I want to say we got like 3. Yeah, we got 3 investment clubs. My husband might be doing another one. I don't want him to do another one because this takes a lot of our life. Like we got club meetings on Sundays, so that takes a lot of